In this video, I'm going to go over the 8 ways I scaled my company to 8 figures in a year and a half. All true. Hi, I'm Eric Horwitz. I am an 8-figure entrepreneur. It takes me 8 hours a month to manage, and I am also a business consultant, providing one-on-one coaching to help you scale your company to from 7 to 8 figures. And I am an expert at what I do best, which is let's talk about fast growth. I had a very, very big spike in which my company went from $1 million in revenue to 10 million in almost a year and a half. A little bit more, but it was March 2023 to almost November 2024. I got the P&Ls to prove it if you ever need to see it. Here are the 8 lessons I learned so you can do the same. So first of all, you have to have operations that runs without you. You need people that handle in the service space the delivery of the service, the scheduling, the hiring, the staffing, and problem solving. You don't want clients that are constantly on you. They need to go to your operations team. My team almost never texts, calls, Slacks me because there are layers of management that make sure that doesn't happen. And the key part of a good operations element, and I have a whole video, I have like a 15-minute video on operations, go watch that. But with a good operations director, a nice 5 to 7 person team below, we were able to scale up the company very quickly because when $1 million in business came in the door, we gave it to them and they took care of it without a problem. If they had a problem, they had a very good way to problem solve and check in with us. So that's operations. Number 2, you need to build a sales team that also doesn't need you. We have another video on sales alone, but that sales team, at first was just me and an assistant. And then it became me as a sales director, a sales representative, and a sales BDR. Then it became someone else was a sales director, 3 sales reps, and 3 BDRs. And that 7-person team was doing so much outbound and doing so many meetings and doing so many more proposals than I could do alone. That allowed me to scale up. So I used to run every sales call. I used to be the guy on Zoom saying, hi, here's my PowerPoint, here's my pitch, here's my deck, blah, blah, blah. At the end of this call, you'll get a proposal. The proposal I'll follow up on, and now I don't do any of that. You have to hire people that do the entire sales process without me coming into play. In fact, there were meetings in the beginning where I would hop in for a little bit, and eventually we had full cycle experiences where a client would meet our sales team, go through the sales process, get sold, give it to operations would fulfill, and then sales would come back and do another round of selling. Because remember, they're not selling Eric Horwitz or the Eric Horwitz solution. They're selling a service, which is, in my case, since I teach after-school cooking classes, very good after-school classes for the kids that they love and enjoy and learn a lot from. And now they're eating healthy food. That has nothing to do with Eric Horwitz. Eric Horwitz just runs the whole system. It's kind of like, you go to a Gordon Ramsay restaurant or a Wolfgang Puck restaurant for that Wolfgang Puck quality. Wolfgang Puck isn't cooking you every dish. He's not even at the restaurant. He's got a team making sure it's the quality that he maintains. Number 3, I delegated the CEO role. Oh my God, guess what, guys? You're not important as you think you are. I have proven to myself and my company that everything is able to be delegated, including me. So I have a president. We have some videos with her, and she was promoted from an operations manager to president, and she runs the leadership team. She runs it like I've showed her. She has her own creativity element to it. And at first I attended 2 meetings a month to help her run the leadership team. Now I just attend 1 leadership meeting a month. I do 2 one-on-one meetings with her every month. And that's been enough to make sure everything is running smoothly. If anything else comes up, she can always contact me. But you're not going to scale to 8 figures if you are the CEO role. You have to have a president, and again, this person is not just a COO, because the COO runs the operations team. The president runs the leaders of every department. And most people don't have that. But when you do get that, you are actually in a true state of freedom. Number 4, I run the company by numbers. You'll see a lot of my videos are all about key metrics. I track about 12 key metrics for Lift and Richard, my cooking class company. I look at those every week, every month, every quarter, every year. And my team looks at them as well. And this is that desert island test. If I gave you 1 page with numbers on it, what would those numbers be to know the health of your company? So what I do, I prefer it on the monthly level. I look at the monthly numbers and one column is that month, so November, October, September. And if the number is going in a good direction, I highlight the cell in green. If it's going in a bad direction, I highlight the cell in red. And then when you zoom out, your goal is to see green, 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 red, green, 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 and you're able to notice, is there like 1, 2, 3 reds in a row, or 1, 2 reds? If it's 1, 2 reds, that means maybe we're not trending in the best direction and there's something to fix. For example, we found our invoices overdue was getting red and red and red. We need to go back to our clients and figure out why this was an issue. We had an issue recently with monthly revenue was like red and red. So we had to figure out a better process for invoicing to make sure our clients pay us sooner or quicker or in advance so that we can maintain our margins as we're growing. Because a lot of clients, especially when you work with governments, want to pay after work is delivered. And we're like, well, we can do that, but we have to hire all these people, buy this equipment, buy these ingredients. We need something that works for everybody. And they understand that. So the green and the red on that Google sheet is what I will use to this day and forever. Number 5 is when you're in the service space, you have to treat recruiting as its own function. So part of Lift and Richmond's job is literally just hiring all the time. We spend so much on Indeed.com with job postings, and we spend tens of thousands of dollars just on our HR team. This team has to, if we get a new school client, hire maybe 7 instructors, onboard as many as we can. A couple of them don't work out. You have to make sure you have backups. You have to make sure you're that when the client says this is when the classes start, they start on time. A lot of service-based businesses, they do hiring on and off. They're always a little bit hiring, but there is not a hiring team. When you want to scale to 8 figures, you need an HR team. This team is devoted to just their functions: recruiting, onboarding, like a factory line, application, interview, reference check, hired, onboarding 1, onboarding 2, onboarding 3, onboarding 4, shadow class, out the door. Put them in like that continually, over and over and over. And we built a full hiring and onboarding department, and that's how we grew our instructors from about 40 to over 290 is where we're at right now. Number 6 is, as CEO, get a personal assistant. I've had remote assistants, I have in-person assistant, and that function for the CEO is absolutely essential because as your company grows, you're gonna need to start delegating more of your personal stuff. I have my assistant do things like they check my email, they check my calendar, they field incoming questions, and they do things like buy groceries, hire staff, manage staff like maid, driver, that type of thing, and just do thinking on my behalf, like, hey, I need to go here and do this thing. Find me some hotels, find me some travel things so I don't have to do that. You shouldn't be booking your own flights. You shouldn't be booking your own hotels. You shouldn't be getting restaurant confirmations. When you have 3 friends who are going to dinner, they should do all of that. You need, if you make even over $100 grand a year, you should be able to hire a remote assistant for literally like $7, $8 an hour. Now when you make more, hire an in-person assistant. So like, hey, that's broken, fix it. And you need to make sure that your assistant is independent. They're not just asking you all the time for stuff. They're making their own decisions. Hey, if it's under $500, you take care of it. Also, you have to make sure that, like Dan Martell, is all about you're buying back energy. You're buying back time so you can do things that you want to do. So I can focus on what I do, which is content making, but video, planning, editing, posting, all that is delegated. It just makes it so you can scale easier and faster. So if you don't have an assistant, go hire one right now. I prefer in person, but if you can't afford in person, do remote. If you live in a faraway area, a buddy of mine, he lives in Portugal, and he's like, hey, Eric, I'm an hour and a half away from the main city, Lisbon. Like, what do I do? I'm like, look, hire an in-person assistant. You can afford it, but say part of the job will be twice a week, you're going to come to my home, and we're going to work here, and we're going to pay you for that hour and a half drive to and from, and the rest of the time it's remote. But you need somebody in person, especially at his level. Number 7, to scaling up, is to protect your calendar ruthlessly. I have this funny little short video, how to say no. Maybe we'll link it below. And you want to make sure that your time is used the way you want it to be used. For me, my calendar is my boss. My things go on my calendar, and they're locked in, or if they're not locked in and I don't want to do something, I just delete it and do something else. In fact, with my assistant, we look at my calendar every week and we kind of shuffle and move things around. Maybe we'll do the haircut here, the workout here, this and that. Maybe if you don't want to see this person, take them off your calendar. You have to be good at saying no. So another thing that I like to do is I like to do all of my meetings in 1 or 2 days. So Monday is like my meeting day. Tuesday is my filming content day and more meetings, and I want freedom Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So if I really want to meet somebody, like a potential networking opportunity that I like, I'll give them space on those days. If it's a less important networking opportunity, we'll keep it more on those meeting days, because I'd rather stack one meeting for 75 minutes, 20-minute break, 75 minutes. People are late or slow or flake, so I'm not wasting time. Again, the problem with in-person meetings is the driving is involved. I like Zoom meetings a lot as well. And I really don't do any like random coffees, random lunches. Let me pick your brain next time you're in town. I don't need a coffee. I don't need a dinner. If you are a truly interesting person, I will make the effort to come to you. I will make all the effort. But if not, then look, you want my time? You can purchase it. We can talk. I can help you grow. If you want to just pick my brain, I don't really want to do that. I've got a lot of other things going on. And number 8, this is absolutely huge. It's something I didn't even know about until it happened, which is the team has to want the 8 figures, not just me. To be honest, I didn't want to hit 8 figures in revenue. That wasn't my goal. I'm like, look, you have a business that does many millions in revenue and your profit's good, just enjoy that. Coast. Start something else. Do other projects. Do a creative project or something else. And the team wanted the growth. The president, the C-suite, the staff below. Look, this thing's growing. We want to grow. And I said, look, go ahead. I will empower you. I will help you. I will focus you. But when their mindset was, I want to hit bigger numbers, I wanted them to grow. And I wanted them to make more money than they've ever made their entire lives. I made more money. Everyone was doing a lot better. And I was just amazed by how it all happened so quickly. But it only happened quickly because everything was dialed in before. Sales, ops, president, structures, SOPs, metrics, dashboards, my own time, my own focus. And with all of that, we just scaled super rapidly. So if you want to scale as rapidly as I did, work with me one-on-one consulting with winwinwitheric.com. I'll help you grow your company, and I'll help you every step of the way, because you want somebody who's already been there and done that.